Welcome to Success Manifestation. I'm Kath Kyle and I help you manifest more fame, fortune and followers. Today I am sharing the story with you about how I manifested my dream life. Everything that I have always wanted, everything that I have always put as a goal, as a life goal, I now have in my life, and I'm sharing with you exactly how I did that. Here are some of the things that I have manifested. I have manifested having my dream family. I have a husband and 2 kids, and we are a wonderful family unit. It's everything that I've always dreamed of for a family. I also have my dream business, my dream work. I work for myself. I work from home, which is everything that I always wanted. I've had some really stressful jobs in my time. I don't like being told what to do. I am very creative, very self-motivated, and always just wanted to work on my own terms. And that is exactly what I do. I just come into my home office. I have sea views where I work from my desk. You can see behind me, or you can't quite see the sea, but that is the actual sea behind me. And I just live my dream work life. I go and pick up my kids from school. I work while they're at school. I only work about 3 hours a day. I don't overwork. I absolutely love the work that I do. I'm really, really enjoying the projects that I do. Everything that I do at work is so fulfilling to me. I'm helping so many people and I'm doing creative work that I absolutely love. I have also manifested my dream health. I used to have such bad health that I was debilitated by health problems. I didn't know what was wrong with me. For 6 years of my life, I was literally lying down, unable to move. I visualized myself, I saw myself as a healthy person, and many years ago I made a complete recovery and I'm now very, very healthy. I can do what I want, I can run, I can do weight training, I can live out my life to the fullest with the fullest, and I have enough energy to do everything I want to do. I have also manifested a level of happiness that I didn't think that I could ever achieve. When I was younger, I used to suffer from a lot of depression, extreme anxiety, panic attacks, self-doubt, self-loathing, all these kind of problems, complete confusion over my purpose, why I was here. And now I just feel so content with who I am. I just feel so stable emotionally, and I just never thought I would ever get there. So I'm blown away by how my emotional stability, my mental health has grown over the years. I have also manifested living in my dream home. We have a house which is right on the sea with a waterfront house where there's a promenade. There's no cars in front of our house. There is a very safe place for the kids to play out the front, and we have sea views. We can walk right along there. There is no traffic, no cars. We can walk all the way to the beach from one end and a different beach on the other end, almost virtually off-road the entire way. It's absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything like this anywhere else in the world. This is my dream location where I live. There are actually 5 beaches here. We are minutes walk away from the beach. It is a warm, sunny location. The climate is lovely. It is mild. We live in a very safe area and our neighbors are fantastic. Another amazing thing that I manifested that I never actually thought was possible, I never really believed it would actually manifest, was to live next to or near to my extended family. At the time when I first started to manifest this, my extended family were all scattered all over the country and all over the world. I lived in a different country, my parents lived in a different country, my brother was in a different country. We were all in separate countries and we've all come together in the one country, and I never actually thought that would ever happen. It's absolutely fantastic. Another thing I have manifested is a level of wealth and stability. Our family has a level of wealth that I never actually saw possible. Whatever we want to buy, we can afford. We live a nice standard of living. I'm very, very happy with the level of wealth. It continues to go up. Our net worth continues to increase, and it is all very stable stable. So now you know what I actually manifested. I just wanted to share what I tried and failed with when it came to manifestation. I have wanted a lot of these things for many, many years. And I've done things like I have written down my goals year after year, and they haven't manifested just by writing them down. What I tried to do was I tried to force my physical reality to change by forcing my physical reality to change. I thought I knew the way in which this needed to manifest. I knew the how in which it needed to happen. And I had decided that if I only made enough money, then I could have everything I wanted. I could move my family to another location abroad, a nice sunny climate abroad, which is what I always wanted. I wanted a house on the coast in a nice warm environment. At the time we were living in a very freezing cold environment, and I just wanted to be somewhere warm and sunny. So I just thought if I just make enough money in my business, then I can afford to move my whole family. I can afford to retire my husband. He can quit his job and we can all move abroad. So that's what I put all of my effort into, is just making more money. I thought money would solve all of my problems. And don't get me wrong, money does solve a lot of problems, but it can't solve anything, because I just kept getting pushbacks all the time. For one, my husband didn't want to move abroad. He didn't want to move away. He was quite happy where he was. Second of all, he didn't want to quit a job. He wanted to keep working. He enjoys what he does. So he didn't want that either. He had a job where we lived. He didn't want to quit it, and he didn't want to move away. My family was all over the place. Money couldn't solve that problem either. So I actually did end up making enough money in my business to support my own family. I made enough money to retire my husband. And guess what happened? It didn't make any difference. It didn't make us move to another country. On the back of that, it just didn't happen. So that didn't work. Me pushing against the physical reality and saying, I know how to do it. I know how it's going to happen. If I can take it on myself and just earn all the money, then it's going to happen. And it didn't. It didn't happen like that. And that's because we co-create everything. We don't just create in isolation. We don't create just ourselves. We need to let go of some of the control when it comes to how we are manifesting. We know what we want to create. But if you don't care about how, then let the how go. So that's exactly what I did. I let go of the how. And as soon as I let go of the how, things started to shift and change, and they did so very quickly. So what technique did I use to manifest my dream life? I used a technique called scripting. And scripting is where you write down what you want as if you have already received it. And I used a particular type of scripting called creating my perfect Groundhog Day design. And the perfect Groundhog Day design is actually a technique that I teach in my business manifestation club and other of my courses and programs, but I'm going to explain it to you now so that you get the basis of that technique. So the perfect Groundhog Day is where you ask yourself, if you had to live the perfect day over and over again, what would that perfect day actually look like? What details would you include in your perfect day? And I know for a lot of us during the pandemic, a lot of people have got stuck at home, and I've heard a lot of people talking about being stuck in Groundhog Day and it's so boring and you just don't like the way your day is. But for me personally, and I don't say this to rub it in, but even during the pandemic, I have been living my perfect day because this has been what has manifested for me. And thankfully, I'm not really one for a massive amount of travel. If I had have had my perfect day being doing a lot of traveling, then perhaps that would have been thwarted during the pandemic. But thankfully, I like to be at home, and that's why I really liked to manifest living in a beautiful location by the coast, because then I can just go out of my house, go for a walk to the beach, and I don't have to travel. I don't have to get on a plane to go to the beach because it's right there on my doorstep. And that's why I'm saying really think outside of the box with your perfect Groundhog Day design. What would it actually look like if you lived in the perfect location, if everything was set up perfectly for you? What would your day look like? And what you do is you write down all of the details of your day. So you write down what kind of work do you want to do? What's your perfect work? Is it running your own business? Is it working from home? Is it working on your computer? Is it working outside of your home? What are you doing? How long are you spending doing that? What kind of money are you making? What do you do for exercise? What kind of food do you eat? Who are you surrounded with? Do you have family living with you? Do you have local friends? What does your perfect day look like? Are you healthy? What do you do for fun? So that's exactly what I did. And I wrote down things like I go outside onto my terrace and I look at the sea view from outside of my window. And I also wrote down things like I go to the beach every single day. I walk to the beach from my house and I see the sun rising every morning, and I spend time on the beach with my extended family, having fun as a family. And at the time, I didn't have any of this stuff, and now I have all of this stuff. So you might be wondering, after writing down your perfect day on a piece of paper, what do you do then? So what I did was I only wrote this down once. I didn't write it any more than once. I wrote down my perfect day on a piece of paper to get clarity in my head as to what I actually wanted, because it's so important. If you don't know what you want, it's never going to manifest. So I got clear with everything. And then what I did was, from time to time, not very often, maybe like once a week, I would imagine my perfect day. I would imagine that I was living my perfect day. I would visualize the scene. I would see myself running on the beach, walking on the beach with my extended family, going out onto the terrace. I would see all these in my mind. I would visualize and hear the conversations that I would be having with my family if I was spending more time with them at the beach. So I started doing this, and you might be wondering, how long did it take for you to manifest your perfect day, your dream life? It only took me 3 months. Although this had been a desire that I had had for a long time, and as I said, I kept trying to physically force my reality. I kept trying to persuade my husband to move. I kept trying to earn more money because I'd decided that that was the only way I could do this. But when I let go of physically forcing and got into my imagination and just started to play the perfect scene and the perfect day in my imagination on repeat, then it happened within 3 months. It was so fast. What happened was, my husband came to me one day and said, I've decided to apply for a job in another country, in a warmer climate, close to my brother and where a lot of my extended family lived, but my parents didn't live there. He said, I'm applying for a job there. I really want to change. I think we should move down there. So he applied for the job. He got the job. I was so surprised. I didn't think that he would ever leave his current place, his current location, his current job, but he did. He applied for that new job and we moved down there within 3 months. Originally, we had wanted a house which was near my husband's work, so we were looking for a house near there, but we couldn't get the kids into the schools near that location in the city. And the only place that we could get the kids into a school together was in a beach town, which was about 30 minutes away from my husband's work. And originally we had ruled out this beach town because it was too far away from my husband's work and we didn't want him to have a really long commute. So we ruled it out, but it turns out that that was the only place we could get the kids into a school. So we ended up moving to this beach town and we had all of these rentals lined up for going to look at them. And the only rental that we could get when we moved, and the only rental that we could get when we went down to look at rentals, because most of them had gone by the time we got there, was one that was about 5 minutes walk from the beach, which was amazing. And we moved just 1 week before the pandemic hit and before we were told you're not allowed to move house anymore. We got in just at the last second. It was absolutely incredible how things manifested with the exact timing. And the country that we moved to isn't exactly well known for being a very sunny, hot country, although it was a lot warmer than where we were living previously. But this particular year that we moved down, it was hot and sunny from March until October without hardly any break. I think there was only about 2 weeks of rain. That whole time it was boiling hot, and we spent every single day at the beach. So even the weather of the location that we moved to manifested according to my perfect day design. And within a few months of living in our rental, we decided we wanted to buy a house, and we found a house which was right on the waterfront and in a perfect location, still very close to the beach. And we managed to reserve it straight away because there was no competition at that point in time. Nobody wanted to buy a house, and we managed to get a massive discount off the price of the house. Our house has direct sea views, and it also has a terrace out front, which is what I wrote on my perfect Groundhog Day design. And it turned out that my husband didn't actually need to commute to work because everybody was just working from home, so we didn't need to be living near his work, so it was the perfect location for being in lockdown. And another amazing thing happened. My parents, shortly after I told them that we were moving down near my brother, they decided that they were going to move down as well. So despite everything, despite not being allowed to move, despite struggles with trying to sell the house, they were able to sell their house, and they moved down. They moved fairly close to us. So now I have all of my extended family living within about 30 to 40 minutes drive away, which is absolutely amazing and something I never thought was going to happen. So I am so incredibly grateful for all of the blessings that have been poured onto my life. And you might be wondering, well, now that you've got everything you've always wanted, what is there left to manifest? Surely your life is perfect now. Well, no, it's not perfect, because I am still human. I still am living a human experience. So although I wrote all these things down on a piece of paper and I manifested them all, no, my life isn't perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. It's full of ups and downs. It's full of good days and some bad days as well. I have way less bad days than I used to, but sometimes I still have bad things happen to me. I have sad things happen to me. I have stressful things happen to me, a lot less than I used to. But yes, there are still ups and downs in my life. So what am I working on manifesting now if I have everything I want? Well, I'm a human, and humans always want more. That's how we evolve. That's how we grow. That's how we avoid staying stagnant. That's how we further on the human race. So my goal at the moment is to improve my latest business, where I'm helping entrepreneurs to manifest their dream businesses. So a lot of my focus is on growing my business. So that's what I'm manifesting at the moment. I am also manifesting a lot of things to do with my own personality. I know that a lot of the stress that happens in my life could be avoided if I was a different type of person. So I am actually manifesting a lot of self-concept goals at the moment, such as being a more loving person, being a more confident person, and also changing the way that I look at other people and seeing them in a much more positive light. So as humans, there's always room to grow. We will never end up being a perfect person. Even if we manifest all of the things on our list, there is always something else to manifest. And the thing is that once you've manifested all of the specific things and the stuff that you want in your life, then you realize that the true work begins. Then you can start to work on yourself and being the kind of person that you want to be. Then you realize that everything really is about how you see yourself, your relationships with other people, and how you view the world based on your thoughts and your beliefs. So there's always something else to manifest. It's always a fun game. I'm always working through the next manifestation project, and I always get excited about manifesting things and having techniques and ideas to share with you. So I would love to know, what are you working on manifesting? What would your dream life look like? Leave a comment below. And I actually have 2 more videos at the moment that you can go and watch: how I manifested my dream home and how I manifested my dream business, where I go into a lot more detail on those 2 particular manifestations. I also have a free gift for those who are trying to grow their reach and their following. This is a manifestation milestones board pack that you can get by clicking in the link below. And while you're down there, if you love this content and you would like more like this, then I encourage you to like this content and subscribe for more. And now it's your turn to go and put your stamp on the world.